What happened was true.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. That's for you, Matt, where we hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Britman's right over there. We have an awesome guest with us, Matt Facci, today, because it is another episode of RePlay or ReBoot. What is that, you ask? That's where we're going to be comparing the original movie to the remake. So in this particular episode, we're going to be doing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to have 5 categories that we're going to go over. We're going to each discuss it. We're going to vote on it, and we're going to pick out which movie's the best today.
And we're also going to figure out who we're going to piss off this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which we always piss off somebody because we're always picking up. We've picked a lot of strange movies so far, but that's okay. We've had a good time, and we've been really enjoying it. So if you haven't seen our last few episodes, be sure to check out our playlist. We'll put a link to that over Brett's head, because a couple of those are actually over on Matt's channel, because we rotate every month. We do this once a month. One month we'll do it on our channel. The next month we'll do it on his. So if you've seen anything on ours, be sure to go check out his. They'll all be in that playlist there as well.
Yeah, and I'll update the playlist too, so you can get access to his as well.
Absolutely. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic. Ready to talk some Leatherface.
Yeah, shoot. We got to talk about that one ugly motherfucker.
He has a birth defect. You're rude.
Well, fuck me, right? But no, I'm doing great. Gosh, we all should be doing great. Matt hit 400 subs. We hit 300. Everybody else is hitting their goals too. So everybody's just doing so fantastic. So right now, this is like the high point of everybody's channels. And guess what? We're only going to get better.
That's right. We're having a lot of fun so far, and we're just looking forward to keep rocking and rolling, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
So I say, without further ado, let's get started, gents. What do y'all want to go with first?
Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead and read off the 5 categories we have today.
All right, guys. Our categories for today's episode are characters, story, Leatherface, which movie is scarier, and of course, the usual overall enjoyment.
Cool. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So what do y'all want to start with first, gentlemen?
I say we could just go in that order, man.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Oh, as Matthew McConaughey says in one of those Texas Chainsaw Massacres, all right.
Oh.
Actually, I don't think he did. But anyways.
No, he didn't.
No, but we can say that he did.
Okay. We'll go with that. I'll start first with characters. Honestly, they're both of just about the same, really. Like, there's people like in the original that I really enjoyed, and there's people in the remake I really enjoyed. Well, in the remake, there's one person I really, really liked watching, which I think that was kind of a cheat code that the remake was doing with Jessica Biel, aka Erin.
Oh yeah,
and she pissed me off a lot in the remake, like, because she made so many damn stupid decisions that really pretty much got her friends killed. So if she would just been like any other normal person, kind of like Sally, they might have all made it out alive for the most part.
True.
So what are you talking about, Brad?
I was just hoping you'd elaborate on some of these bad decisions that she made.
Well, okay. Well, they could just toss the body and just got the fuck out of there. That's what I would have done. Like, yeah, I would feel like a piece of shit in doing that, but like, I ain't gonna wait on an officer for 2 hours. I got to go to Mexico. I got to go sell my drugs. So, like, I can't have my cartel pissed at me.
Cartel.
Oh my gosh, they've already been to Mexico, Brett. They've already been to Mexico at this point. They're going to yeah.
Oh, they have been. Okay, but that explains the piñata.
Yeah, piñata.
The piata. Why did the guy throw the piata in the middle of the field?
Because the cops were coming. Brett, did you watch the story at all? Come on now.
Of course I watched it. I know we're getting a little off topic here. But anyways, besides the point, Aaron I liked. Of course, I freaking love the sheriff. Such a damn icon in just the horror genre. I'm blanking on his name.
Arlie Ermert. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. He's just so much fun to watch in that remake. In the remake, I prefer what we call the dad of the Sawyer family over than the original, just because he's more entertaining. He's just more disturbed. Even though, like, the guy in the original, the dad was really, really damn disturbed. And I'll get to more on that later. But I love Franklin and Sally in the original. I thought they... I know. I like Franklin. Like, I was very entertained with him. Even though I know people don't like him going... Yeah, I know. Like, that was way over the top, but like the flashlight thing going, I want to go with you. Like, I want the flashlight. Like, for some reason, he didn't bother me. And plus, guys, he freaking like rolled down the hill. Like,
he did.
And he got his arm cut. And he got freaking chainsawed in half. Like, leave Franklin alone. And of course, Sally is just so damn iconic. So, with that said, it's going to be tough, and I know Jessica Biel's there for the cheat code, but I don't reward cheat codes, so I'm going with the original.
Ooh, okay, I like it, Brett.
I guess I'm going to do a push on this because I don't really particularly lean to either characters in either movie. Then I don't really like that many of them, but like you said, Jessica Biel. They're playing like some Grand Theft Auto, putting in the invincibility code. It's like Jessica Biel, and I just want to look at her for an hour and 40 minutes. So that's a plus. I did like the cook from the original. He was good, but like you said, Arlie Ermy definitely sold that crazy dad type role a lot better than in the original. The overall family, and you can't forget that little Jedediah, out there with the dogs. Can't forget that little boy. I mean, he's kind of like a hero, sort of, technically, I guess, standing up to Leatherface and letting Aaron escape, which was not in the original, obviously.
Right.
Overall, family-wise, you can't forget about them two weird ladies out in the freaking trailer in the woods, the really big fat one, and then drink your tea before it gets cold. Those motherfuckers are just as scary as Leatherface was. My. That's creepy as shit too. And like Franklin, I did not like him. I don't remember any of the names of the other people in the van.
I think Pam's the hot one over Sally. Yeah, Pam. That's the only one I know, just because you know me. Like, I like a good-looking girl, so Pam is the only other one I remember.
The names are escaping me. I feel like Bert right now. Kemper. Yeah, Kemper. I liked Aaron's boyfriend. I thought he was a good character in the film. He seemed like a likable dude who was definitely there to support his going to be fiance, which adds a little bit to the characters for me. So overall, for me, I got to go characters from the remake. I have to.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Tie breaking Brad. That's what they call me on the street. So here we go. So I like. This is actually tough. I mean, because I actually really do enjoy a lot of the characters from both movies. So we'll start with the original. I don't hate Franklin. He is a little over the top. I think he adds a little flair to the movie, though. He adds a flavor to it, and obviously when I think of that movie, he's always the first person that comes to mind. Honestly, like over Sally, over anybody else, just because he's such a, not that he's like the best character or anything, but he's just he's got flair, he's got flavor, he's got something to him. And being in that wheelchair obviously adds a little bit to his character as well. So I don't mind that. And I like the dynamic of him and Sally being brother and sister too. And him kind of getting dragged on to this little vacation. Just, I guess just for being there. And I like that. The family, obviously Sally was fantastic. She does she knocked it out of the park in that movie. And I really enjoyed it. The other one's Kirk and Pam. They're decent. They're fine. There's nothing too. They there's nothing really that stands out about them, I guess, but they do a serviceable job. And the family, in that particular version, it would have been the Sawyer family. I liked everybody there. Obviously, we didn't touch on the hitchhiker yet, but he was fantastic. I really enjoyed him. Just from the opening sequence, when they pick him up, you could say, dude, this guy's batshit crazy, man. He's in there. He's like, hey, man, you want a picture? That's $2, you know? So all that stuff's great. And he stands out big time. And as does the father character there. And then you got the grandparents too, man. You got the grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude,
good old grandpa, who I think is a vampire.
Yeah, grandpa's nut. I love all that. But man, the remake's got some hella good characters too. Like you guys have already mentioned, Sheriff Hoyt. He really steals it for me. I think he's he's got so much on-screen presence and such charisma, which we've seen him R. Lee in many roles. Full Metal Jacket, same kind of role here. Yeah,
and even in Texas Chainsaw at the beginning, which was the prequel to the remake, and I thought that was just his movie entirely.
Yeah, totally. And again, that shows here. I thought Jessica Biel and Aaron was fantastic. I really didn't have any problems with her, honestly. I think she made some decisions, but these are character decisions. These are actual questions anybody would ask themselves in this situation. Are we going to dump this body? Or are we going to do the right thing? So I don't necessarily think that's a bad decision for a character.
Yeah.
As much as it is a good character trait, more so than anything. She's the one kind of standing up against the norm and trying to do the right thing. So I really enjoyed her character. And fun fact, actually, she was actually written to be pregnant in this thing. Yeah. So I kind of wish they would have kept that in. That's why she didn't drink the weed, smoke the weed, and drink it all. And
yeah, that makes sense.
There's actually a deleted scene where she tells Kemper that, and they took it out. It's on the Blu-ray. But yeah, I think they should have kept that in. That added a little bit more to her as well. And that's, again, obviously a big reason why she didn't want to leave this body out, because she's thinking, oh, I'm about to have a kid too. And, so, and it's still kind of implied. I think it still could be in there, just with her not drinking and everything. But anyway, and then obviously, some of the side characters, I thought the core group of characters in the remake was very solid. Kemper, Morgan, everybody else, I think it's a fun group to watch, and they have a nice dynamic, and they actually seem like friends. So for that, and mostly because of Sheriff Hoyt, I'm going to go with the remake.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Just marking down the score. So that will be for characters, the remake. So y'all just got Jessica Biel. Let's just admit it. Y'all got Jessica Biel.
She was nice to look at. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I swear that house got some serious plumbing issues.
Oh yeah, that house has a lot of issues, man.
Oh man, yeah, like, and why did they bring like the big old, the big old giant lights where you just get like a whole bunch of light like on a set and all that? Why did they put it behind the house? Like, how much? Like, what did those Hoyts do for a living? To buy these big ass lights to put it right behind the house to make the house shine.
It's a cool effect though. It looked cool. I love it.
I mean, it was pretty fucking cool. It brought the house to life, like made its own character itself. So
definitely.
All right, let's go to the story. Both of them are sort of similar. Like they both are traveling to go to a place. The original, Sally and Franklin were either going to see their dad or their grandfather. I think they passed away. I think they were just trying to get some stuff, organized, kind of like how, it's just the normal stuff like arrangements and burial and all that. And of course, they took a wrong turn, and then they found the house, and then all hell breaks loose. And see, this one's kind of tough for me, folks, just because, again, like with Brad's theory, like the original just, comes up with the idea first, and then the remake just kind of like takes off with the idea. And that's kind of sort of what happened here. Because in the remake, I can see them like coming from Mexico, like, and on back to do like a drug trade deal that even Aaron did not know about. Like she had zero clue what her boyfriend Kemp was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's realistic too, because that happens. So, man, it's tough because I like both of the stories too. Like I was invested both of the characters. I was fully invested what was going on storytelling wise, and both movies did a great job telling the story. I'm gonna have to go with the original again.
I like it.
Yeah, I just because it's just the original idea. To me, I was more invested in that story than I was in the other one. So I gotta go with the original.
Chalk it up, my friend.
You're right. You're right. This category is way tougher to me than characters. Both stories they seem like legitimate reasons why both of these people would be in this situation. So it's not like either one of them is out of the ordinary or strange or anything. I guess when they pick up the hitchhiker in the original and he starts doing that crazy shit and cuts Franklin and stuff, and then they still continue to proceed with what they were originally went there to do, I find that a little strange. Like, I don't know, this crazy dude just jumped in the van, he cut Franklin, he's bleeding, and then they're like, oh, we're still going to go check out the house and everything. I don't know about that. And then in the remake, when that hitchhiker gets in and blows her fucking brains out through the back windshield. They're like Brad said, they're trying to do the right thing, what to do with the body and whatnot. It's just so they both kind of could make different decisions to lead them away from the danger that they eventually get into in either case. But I guess story-wise, since it came first, I guess I got to go with the original.
Ooh.
You guys are killing me.
I'm sorry.
You guys are killing me. Oh, man. The hills have eyes, man. Come on. All right. Anyway. Sorry. That's enough. All right. Anyway. Yeah, man. So both stories are solid. And actually, I almost recommended we take this category out until I watched the remake and realized how different it actually was. I thought it was... they did enough there to kind of make it kind of stand out against the original. And I think it's great. Obviously, the original one is a more simple story, which I enjoy. I like that because it cuts out some unnecessary, in my opinion, things from the runtime. Whereas, the remake goes and you get into that whole thing with the trailer people and the drink your tea, honey. And
that
the
Midsommar tea.
Yeah. But the remake does some great things here. I mean, it does. It like I said, the whole pregnant thing would have been a good angle. You get the whole thing with Kemper's ring falling out of his pocket after he gets hung upside down or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just a nice little emotional flair to it. You have a couple sequences there where Erin is she's running around and she's got to save the dude. Well, not save per se, but he's hanging up over the piano and he's dying, and she's got to make the emotional decision to freaking.
Damn, I forgot about that scene.
Yeah, do the whole thing with the heart, and the same thing later with Morgan. Later, when he comes, he wakes up after the bath, and then they run to the little shack, and then Morgan decides to sacrifice himself for Erin, and all that stuff I thought was pretty great. And again, I think it does a great job of asking questions. Are you going to do the right thing here, or are you going to ditch yourself and leave? Because I think everybody watching the movie is like, I'm out of here. Like I'm bouncing. But in that position, like it's definitely a question you're going to ask yourself, which is cool. And I like the way the story pans out, I guess, for the characters too, just to kind of, and the original, they're going out to the father's place or whatever. This one, they just happen to be passing through, wrong place, wrong time, kind of deal. They just happen to pick up the hitchhiker, and if they didn't do that, they would have been good to go. Which, maybe the same could be said for the first one too. But that freaking house is pretty close to my boy Leatherface. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So overall, I think this one is a tough decision though. I'm going to go with the original too. Although there's a lot of stuff I really enjoy about the remake. There's a lot of fat that's trimmed out in this original one, stuff that's not needed. They got random jump scares in the remake and all kinds of stuff that's not needed. So I'm going to go with the original just because it's simpler and it's more efficient.
Yeah. And I don't blame you. And I'm actually going to pull a switcheroo and go with the remake.
Wow.
I changed because here's why. Because there's one scene I forgot about, and that's the ending with Aaron getting in that big, like, the 18-wheeler or like whatever, how many wheels those things have. And it's just kind of like all like goes like in a big circle because, they pick up that girl. And she's like, I just want to go home and you're all going to die. And, freaking out about like, no, I don't want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
What did Erin do at the end? She
Same
did
thing.
exactly what that character did too. I think that's great storytelling too, to go like from tied the beginning with the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the original did that as well. So I kind of like when stories are being that unique where it just comes in full circle. So that's why I change it. My pick from the original, and I'm actually going to go with the remake on story.
I like that idea that they did with that, but I don't like. I didn't see Aaron doing that. Like to me, it just didn't. She just got through kicking some ass and whatnot. Like, yeah, like to me, it didn't fit her character very much. But yeah.
So I know we've already talked about characters, but this one particular character we decided to leave for the side because, he is one of the most iconic horror villains in the history of the horror genre. So I say let's talk about our boy, Leatherface.
Leatherface.
The man of many faces. And I know this is totally random off topic too. If you have not checked out the Merkins with their version of Wearing Faces, when they were doing a song with Leatherface, I'm going to put a link in the description. You got to check that shit out because that song is absolutely hilarious. But let's start off with the original. Dude, that guy was so damn ugly. But like in the most scary way too. I mean like it looks so damn realistic.
Yeah.
Just because over from the remake, just because remake has like more of the cinematic twist to it, and like trying to make him like just pop out more. But this one just looks like a homemade film. He just seems more real. And if you could do more real into a movie, you're going to get a big plus from this guy. Kind of like with Brad with the decision making, like in the remake, that's real. So that's why kind of like, again, I'm going with remake for story, but for Leatherface, and he also wearing multiple masks too. I believe he only wore two faces in the original because he had the one we saw at the beginning, and then the second one is he had like more of a bushy hair, kind of like looking like freaking Pennywise being melted.
It's dinner face.
Yeah, guy had that dinner face, and I thought he was about to get his freak on with freaking Sally too. I thought that was being insinuated.
Yeah.
But no, he's just scarier, man. Like I'm easily going with the original just because the remake, was he scary too, and he got to like show off more of his badassness. But again, that's just more of like the studios and the cinema like getting involved. While freaking Hooper was actually putting more of a character driven and a realisticness to Leatherface. So that's why I'm going with the original Leatherface.
Okay.
I like it.
And I'm going to go the opposite direction. And I'm going to go with, I think his name's Andrew Berniski.
I believe it's Tom. I think it's Tom Brown.
You're going with the remake he's talking about?
Yeah, the remakes. Yeah, Leatherface's name, because I remember the mom saying, Tom, get your, like, called out the full name too.
Thomas Hewitt.
Thomas Brown Hewitt.
Yeah. The actor, I think, was Andrew Berniaski, I think, is the actor who played him. And Gunnar Hansen played him in the original. Yes, they are both iconic to me in their own separate ways. But if I'm going to run in the streets against the Leatherface from the remake, I got no damn chance, because that motherfucker is one big ass dude. And he is way more powerful than the original Leatherface, who looks awesome and scary in his own ways. But I think the Leatherface from the original, there's a heart somewhere inside of there. And in the remake one, that guy don't give a shit about nobody. He's not there to fall in love with no girls or ladies like in the original. So I kind of think that takes it down a step. And I'm kind of more scared of the hitchhiker in the original one. That guy's fucking nuts. He didn't do anything. And like I said, Leatherface kind of leans back a little bit at the dinner table scene because he has feelings for this woman. And in the remake, Leatherface don't have those kind of feelings. He only is trying to kill these people. And yes, R. Lee Ermey is terrifying in his own right as Sheriff Hoyt, but Leatherface is just so big. In that final scene when his arm got chopped off standing at the slaughterhouse, you see a little bit of weakness, but what does he do? He comes right back. Chainsaw on the top of that cop car at the end of the film, like the last shot, just standing there breathing all heavy and shit and terrifying. Nah, I gotta go with the remake. He's badass.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Man, this is another tough one because both of them did such a good job. The way they made the look for the remake was awesome. It looks good, especially the first mask there. And he does a good job. He's kind of more sadistic, I think, in the remake for sure. The way he cuts off Kemper's mask and slaps or his face and slaps that whole thing on there. You know, like, and he's out there chasing him around. Like, that was pretty crazy. He seemed more after it, like you said, more freaking like, I'm gonna go slay some fools and nothing's gonna get in my way, kind of deal there. And the way he's presented is pretty solid too. I mean, the first time you see him in that remake when he slashes our boy Kemper in the head, the way that's shot it's pretty effective and scary and whatnot. But kind of like what Brett was saying, I really like the. Let me back up. One thing I think the remake did atrocious was showing his freaking face, man, like such clarity. And I'm like, yeah, I hated that.
Kind of like made it look like it was Kemper's face that he was wearing.
Well, no, like when he was putting Kemper's mask together, yeah, they took his mask off and he was missing the nose. I'm like, I kind of want to keep some of this to my.
Like the mysteriousness.
The imagination. But it was. I mean, at the end of the day, it was cool effects. But I will say, I think, like Brett was saying, the original Leatherface has much more personality. I think, yeah, with all the characters in the original one, you have you can really kind of feel like a mental illness kind of thing going on, and it really shows really well, and it makes it feel a little bit more realistic, and you can really feel that with Leatherface in the first one. And I do love. Okay, first off, this came out in 1974, and the mask they put together to this thing was fantastic at that time. I mean, it looks legit how thin it is, and like, I mean, it looks creepy in its own right. And he's pretty brutal there as well. Like when he brings Pam inside, that's obviously an iconic shot. And he just drags her in there. That was
just
awesome.
How to hook the girls. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Line is sinker.
Oh my gosh. So like, but the first time he shows up in that original movie is just, I mean, at that time it would have been absolutely terrifying. It still is. Yeah. It's awesome. And he's freaking massive, but he's still fast as fuck, boy. Like, he's still out there. He's running around when he's chasing Sally there at the end. Dude, he's flying, man. Like, he's running faster than Sally is, and he's a big dude. So, and not to say the remake one wasn't fast either, but I feel like this original guy was faster. The way he fills the frame up when he busts in the house behind Sally and she's running up the stairs and he's right behind her, all that stuff was fantastic when he's in action. And at the end of the day, man, he didn't lose his arm. So
hey,
for that, all it took was a meat cleaver, and the remake's arm was gone, and he took multiple whacks at it. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and give it the OG.
Ooh, okay, all right.
And I'm going to go ahead and do a Franklin. And I got a question. But didn't you see his face? It's a skin disease. Didn't you see
my gosh.
That's a bad skin disease, man, eating his whole fucking face off.
His nose, yeah. I was confirming, by the way, Andrew Broski or whatever his name was, Brian Branierski, for you a second ago in the cast list. And the Tea Lady is really, her character is called Tea Lady in trailer. And
that's it?
Yeah.
Really? Tea Lady in trailer.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't even get a name.
Wow. Whoever her mom was, fuck her. So
Tea Lady in trailer. That's all she gets.
Man. the disrespect, I swear.
Yeah.
But
What's the score right now, Brett? We're looking pretty close, I think.
You want to know the score right now? It is 2-1 to the original.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So I'm telling you, these next two are going to really determine everything. So let's go ahead with the next one about which one is scarier between the two movies.
And guys, this category is going to take into account atmosphere. It's going to take into account kills, the camera work, anything that can add to the scariness here. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep it in mind indeed, because like both of them are just unique in that style of like the way they're trying to scare you. Just to me, with the original, what they really try to do to make you like scared, it's just with how real the whole movie looks. Because you know the behind the scenes where it's like freaking 100 degrees and the cast were just like literally losing their minds, and it really shows on screen too, and that's scary. Itself, just like being that overly heated, exhausted, and just emotionally drained for all the acting they had to do. But if we're just like, again, like movie was scary. The original had an okay atmosphere. The kills were okay. Like they were good, but again, back in the 70s where they didn't have like the technology and the MPAA to worry about, they couldn't fully shown the kills as well as they could. So, and psychologically, damn, do I give that side to the original, just because Sally had like the easiest job in the world as I forgot her, like the real girl's name, the actress, but she had the easiest line in the movie.
That's it.
No, like literally, and dude, she sells it. Like one of the best actual final girl like acting performances, like for acting, not for like actual character, but for acting I've ever seen in a horror film. Like, cause she was really going all out. But for the remake, not much of the psychological side is there, but damn, the atmosphere was just so dark and moody. And like, you just like for every place they went, you did not feel comfortable whatsoever.
No.
And then plus, like Matt says, you got this big ass Leatherface chasing you down and killing you in all these brutal ways. Like the kills were really strong in remake because again they weren't restricted by anything.
Yeah.
So this is tough because again both sides have great legitimate reasons of why you should be scared of their film. But for my preference, I'm going to have to go with the remake. I had it down here as the original, but just to think it out more on both sides, I am going to go with the remake.
I dig, Bert. I dig.
Okay. I gotta go. Scary factors. Leatherface for me. I'm leaning towards the remake. You got Sheriff Hoyt. Scary as fuck. I would take him over the hitchhiker in the original any day. He and Bert said no psychological in the remake. I disagree. The sheriff added a whole psychological level to me personally, as he's messing with Morgan in the van. He's messing with Aaron and Pepper. I think her name's Pepper.
Yeah, whatever that random girl's name.
The other random hitchhiker's name. He's messing with her. Once again, messing with Aaron when she gets back to the house, dumping his beer on her and fucking with her there with his pants off because his mama's ironing his pants. You know what I mean? Well, his wife, but calls her mama. Whatever. The atmosphere, obviously, it's in 1974. I mean, they didn't have the stuff that we have now, so obviously it's going to look different. But like you said, everything in 2003 in the remake is creepy. Every situation they were in is creepy. You knew that none of that was going to end well. And the original, I mean, it was sunny for part of it, I believe, right? It was sunny in the remake too, but it was like a dark and damning sunny. It wasn't just like super sunshine and rainbows and everything's going to be okay. The kills, obviously, in the original, like you said, they were a little toned down. Like Franklin getting chopped up. If that would have been now, we'd have seen the whole damn thing. I guarantee that. So, kill-wise, I got to go to the remake in that one too. And I'm more afraid of the Leatherface in the remake, so I have to go for Scary Remake.
Okay. Here we go. Let's talk about this. I think the remake does a lot of things really well in the scare department. I really do. I think like you said, Leatherface is pretty damn scary in the remake. Sheriff Hoyt is off the chains, definitely psychological, messing with people. Hey, don't put that damn thing in my back seat, put it in the trunk. Like all that. Yeah, all that's great. And I mean, he's got some humorous parts in there too. That's pretty funny. Like the one I just mentioned. He's freaking crazy. But anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about the original movie and just how well it kind of stands out in this category for me. Because I think, first off, we'll start simple. I'm going to start with the camera work here. Some of the stuff that they were doing with the camera was kind of revolutionary at this point. You get a lot of long takes, like for instance, inside the van at the beginning of the movie, where you're just rolling and you're just moving the camera around to whoever's talking and really giving you a claustrophobic feel there and really making you feel like you're one of these characters and on this ride with them. And I think that all that stuff is great. And that continues on throughout the whole movie. All these kind of long takes where you're following somebody when Franklin's rolling in the house and just really putting you in that mode, in that room with them. And I think that's great. And the atmosphere overall is absolutely, I mean, it's fantastic, man. Like you can see the heat coming off the roads. You can see the freaking sweat on these people's shirts and everything. It's awesome. And the remake does a pretty good job with that too, with the sweat at least. But this thing freaking starts off with this partially decomposed body on a damn wire, and it's just the radio, the commentary over that is terrifying, dude. You're talking 1974 at this point. You haven't seen anything. You haven't seen Halloween. You haven't seen Friday the 13th. Like you've seen The Exorcist, and you've seen like Rosemary's Baby, but you haven't seen anything. Yeah. That shows this kind of gore, at this point, and that's that, and it looks like a real body, and people have claimed that it even is, but it's. Yeah, I mean, it really sucks you into that, and right up from the opening shot, you're like, what have we gotten ourselves into here? And it's just gross and it feels nasty. One thing I really like is the again, like you haven't seen a lot of slashers at this point, so the first time you have Kirk and Pam walking around the house, the Sawyer house. And Kurt gets slayed, I guess, for all intents and purposes. And Pam's in there, and she's walking around. You see all these freaking bone things set up on the couch, and she's just the reaction she gives is awesome. She looks totally terrified there, and then she gets grabbed by Leatherface as she's trying to run out the door, and then she gets to sit there and see her boy freaking Kurt getting chopped up to pieces with the damn chainsaw while she's hanging out on the hook over here. I'm like, this is pretty freaking scary right here. This is very psychological. This is freaking gross. And I'm not going to touch on the hitchhiker. He's crazy. The father, all that's crazy. Leatherface is crazy. But the whole thing at this point in horror, I may be wrong in this, but I think for all intents and purposes, the final girl was not even a thing yet. So that wasn't even something that we've grown accustomed to. We've never seen that before. And we've never seen Laurie Strode. We've never seen Brett's favorite girl, Alice. We haven't seen any of that yet. So at this point, when everybody's dying, Franklin, everybody, Kirk, the other guy, and you're left with nobody but Sally at this point in 1974 would have been truly terrifying and really a first time thing that you're seeing. For the most part. And, you see it a little bit in Black Christmas as well, but, same year. So at this point, she's running around. She's got a group of psychopaths chasing her ass. And they're very well established at this point that they're psychopaths. Everybody involved, the family, the father, everything. And, she escapes Leatherface initially, gets to the father, gets brought back, and all that sequence is crazy. When she's running into the house, like I said earlier, and Leatherface is chasing after her fast as fuck, and she runs into the house, and he's right on her tail. No choice but to jump out. Again, none of this is tropes at this point. She's running up the stairs because she's scared, and she jumps out the window. She gets picked up by the sheriff, and then you have that, or the father, and then you have that whole freaking dinner scene, which again opens up a whole other level of psychology and psychological scares, because at that point she's freaking she's their guest, and she's sitting there tied up in the chair, and just you see everybody how crazy they are. You see the hitchhiker over here, he's losing his mind. The father over there, he's having a great time, and Leatherface is here doing who knows what.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, like it's like what she's in the situation alone again for the first time we've seen in horror, and she's stuck here to the point to where they have this freaking grandfather who's a vampire or whatever the hell he is. Just they're helping him hit her. Like how dehumanizing is that? The fact that she's got her head in a bucket, getting this freaking hammer dropped on her head, and there's nothing she can do about it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, that was a tense scene just because you never know when the connection from the hammer to the head was going to happen.
Exactly. And they're like, they talked earlier how it's a quick, when the hitchhiker's picked up and he's talking about hitting the hogs.
Oh, yeah.
Or the cows. And it's kind of the same thing here, but it's not quick. And it's not, I mean, she's getting hit in the head like a cow, but it's like freaking, it's just bump after bump after bump. She's not, she's not dying. She's not going to, but it's just a constant thing. And in her head, she's got to be thinking, which blow is going to do it, but it's just pretty much a hammer falling on her head. It's pretty wild. And then obviously eventually she gets out, and you have that crazy scene with the hitchhiker chasing her. Ooh, it's crazy. For me, I feel like the family and stuff is more unpredictable in that original, and for all the reasons I just said, I'm going to go Scary. I know that was a long-winded answer, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go give that one to the original.
To the original, okay, but no, that's awesome, man. Like, because that almost made me pull a switcheroo, but I'm going to stay strong and keep it with the remake.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
And when it comes to final girls, Sally didn't do shit. Aaron was kicking Leatherface's ass. So
yeah,
Aaron had a whole 40 years of final girls to kind of shape her into the direction she needed to be.
Sally just screamed like a little bitch. Come on.
She did a pretty good job. She got away.
I'm screaming. Yeah.
Hey, but Brad brought up the great point. I think in the 70s, I don't think they've defined that what's the word? Like I wouldn't say a category, but just defined the final girl of what that means.
Yeah.
Because like Brad perfectly said, I don't think the 70s knew like that was a thing. If in the 80s made it a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and gosh, did they make it a thing?
They made it a thing.
They made it a thing.
And Brad, I want to tell you something too before we get on to the last topic. Fuck Alice.
Oh.
So, Chad, if you're listening, fuck Alice. But all right. Surprisingly, actually, I'm not really surprised with how our episodes have gone. It is 2 for the original and 2 for the remake. Woo! So it is going to once again come down to overall enjoyment, and this one's going to be very interesting.
Oh gosh,
I will go first. Actually, I want to do something interesting. I want all of us to talk about our points about 2 movies, and then we'll do the vote.
Okay,
just to build that little anticipation,
Okay.
Give them a reason for our folks to stay around. So the original, I had a really good time with it. It just did a lot of things in the 70s, like what Brad always talks about in the 70s. It's just like one of those, like probably the darkest era in horror movies because of just how far they're willing to go to make their movies so damn scary. And that's what the original did. They shot in 100-degree weather. Everybody was just losing their minds. And you have to appreciate that of all that hard work going into a movie. And those characters, especially Sally, sold the hell out of that movie. Leatherface was great. The family was creepy as hell. I didn't even know there was a vampire in the original until I thought about it. So just the original is just so damn great. So it's definitely on a category of its own, like probably one of the greatest horror movies of all time. I know Steve Merlo can agree with that one too. So I can easily see why he absolutely adores that movie. The remake, I didn't know a producer was had Michael Bay in it, yeah, good old Michael Bay. I should have known it even before looking it up too, just because of how the remake had the same style as the Heacher remake.
Yeah.
but easily Texas Chainsaw Massacre Remake definitely did what the Hitcher couldn't, in my opinion. But that's for another time. But the remake was just so damn fun too, with a more bigger Leatherface. So you're so concerned, like Matt said, a no fucks given attitude. He's going to kill everything in sight and just wear you. And the sheriff was creepy. Just the two old ladies that say, "Hey, you gotta drink your tea, honey." Yeah, all just the whole mood and atmosphere was just so damn creepy. And you were concerned for Aaron, even though that's the pretty much most people watch for Jessica Biel. I actually kind of watched for Aaron the character because I thought she was a really good character in the remake. And I have a really damn good time with the remake as well. So this one's going to be a very hard decision to make.
Definitely.
All good points. The original for me, I mean, it's like the first time we're ever seeing anything like this sadistic and this kind of macabre as that the words roll across the screen in the beginning, that whole epilogue or whatever that's called.
Oh, dude, we really forgot about it.
That worked perfectly. Starts to set the mood right off the bat. Like Brad said, that weird body in the cemetery posed up. I was like, what the fuck am I even watching? That's stuff people have never seen before. So it's always going to be, have a high place in horror movie history. And it's obviously going to be one of the best horror movies ever made. Leatherface in the original, we wouldn't even have Leatherface in the remake if we didn't have that character from that film to begin with. He's an iconic. He's not up there. For me personally, he's not up there with Michael and Jason, but he's a little bit below them. But he's still up there as a huge icon in the horror genre. The family, the family of the Sawyer family. They are creepy sons of bitches. They be creepy today. They work. Core characters, for me, but I still have a good time with the original. It's not a film I go back to, that often, but I can't have a good time with it. The remake, Leatherface, that's my Leatherface. Hashtag my Leatherface. He's amazing, creepy as hell, big, brutal, love it. Obviously, you guys know me by now. I am more for the blood, guts, and gore than I am for the mood and atmosphere. So I love that aspect about the remake as well. Aaron, Final Girl, fantastic. Jessica Biel played that role perfectly. She did a really good job. And the Hewitt family is creepy all the way around, from Sheriff Hoyt to, once again, goes back to creepy tea lady in trailer. She's creepy too. It all works. Both of these films work in their own separate ways. So like you said, this is definitely probably the hardest category of the 5 that we had. But can't wait to see who wins.
Oh, yeah. Rich, you are, Ted. And reason being is because this category is tough. This is probably the toughest replay reboot decision I've made yet. Both of these are fantastic. I love them both in their own way. The remake adds a lot of new flair to this original movie, and it does a good job with that. I think it adds some fun to it, and it adds I really actually enjoy. I have a good time with the characters, the core group of characters in the remake. Obviously, Sheriff Hoyt, fantastic. It's super entertaining throughout. And I mean, there's a few things I don't really like about it, and that's being like, just I don't really like the Jedediah storyline and the tea lady and all that. Like all that for me, it slows things down when things are really picking up. That's just a couple little things about the remake I don't really like, and I feel like it adds unnecessary runtime to the movie.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I think it does a great job of adding in, like I said earlier, questions you're going to ask yourself, characters you care about, with the ring thing, the possible pregnant thing, all that stuff is great. Erin was fantastic. I really enjoyed her performance. And yeah, I think it was overall is a good time. Good score too in the remake. Yeah. The original obviously had some good soundscapes too, along with that atmosphere that I was talking about earlier. I know I talked a lot about the original earlier, so I'll keep this shorter winded than that one. But yeah, again, you have a comparable family in the first one too, and some of the best atmosphere, that you can get, honestly, at I think at any point. So I love it for that. And it's scary, it's gross, and it's nasty, and yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep things kind of short-winded here because I know I went long on the last one. So I think that's pretty much it. I think both of them are enjoyable in their own ways. They're both a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right, Brad. That this is going to be tough, man. Because this is going to go either way. So, Brad, I'm going to let you go first because I think I know which direction you're going. I'm assuming I know where Matt's going.
What?
I think it's a safe assumption either way.
Let's go with Brad.
I'm going with the remake. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm going to go with the original here. Yeah, because a big reason, really the main reason why is because, again, I think the remake does a lot of stuff to add some unnecessary runtime to it. This one's it's nice and it's like an hour and 20 minutes, and it flies by. It's paced very well, and for that reason, again, kind of similar to where I gave the Hills Have Eyes original the nod, is because I just feel like this tells a full story without adding too much unnecessary stuff. It doesn't throw in some random ass jump scares with rats and putting your arms in trunks. I think it just kind of floats straight through at a rapid pace. And, obviously I touched on the atmosphere and the scariness of it, so I won't say anything else there, but that's it.
All righty, Matt, what are you choosing?
I haven't picked an original movie yet, and this is our 4th episode, and I'm not going to start today. I'm going with the remake. All I got to say is rewatchability factor. The OG, I can't sit here and watch that a lot. It's the entertainment value is just not there for me. The remake, yes, the runtime's a little bit longer, but I just enjoy it a hell of a lot more, and it's so much more brutal, and that's what I love the most. So short and sweet, remake for me.
Fuck, it's all up to me whether the show continues or not.
This one's a win-win.
It really is. It's like you really can't pick wrong with this. I know most of the horror community. Actually, I don't know that either.
That's a mixed one.
That would be a good kill flicks post to do. Just say team remake or team original, because I like to get their thoughts on it. But Matt, you said it best. Entertainment value and just rewatchability. The original. This was like my 3rd time only watching it. I know I've watched the remake a lot more times, but damn, the original is so strong too. The reason of not revisiting it because of how disturbing a psychological it is. And those kind of movies I don't revisit a whole lot, but damn, do I appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to get Jessica Biel here. And the remake is so fun. That's the one I just revisited, the one I remembered the most of. So I am going to choose the remake of the movie I enjoyed the most. So once again, the remake wins.
Wild.
Oh,
every time.
4.
I'm not surprised with this one.
We are not
really
doing this on purpose or intentionally.
No, we're not.
People.
I think at this point, again, I think, yeah, I mean, we're going to be the first channel ever to pick Rob Zombie's movie over the original Halloween, I think.
Well, you're going to have to wait till October episode on that one.
Yes. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, you can't go wrong. I mean, both of these are fantastic, I think. I think it was a great remake.
Really are.
And it was a tough decision for me. You could ask me again tomorrow. It might change. I don't know, but
unbelievable.
Yeah, I appreciate the remakes or the original so much. Like I gave that a 4.5 out of 5, and the remake I actually give it a 4.25 out of 5.
Now wait a minute, Bert. What the?
Well, I enjoy the reason for that is because I enjoy the remake more and I rewatch it and all that. But if we're talking about the actual overall better movie, it's the original.
Okay. All right.
What's up?
Hey, all right.
Good enough for me. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, we'll save that for afterwards. But here's what I got. Matt had 4 for the remake, 1 for the original. I had 3 for the remake and 2 for the original, and Brad had 4 for the
Wow.
original and 1 for the remake. Again, it was that close.
Yeah.
Bert was the deciding factor in this because
Bert
Brad
was.
went 4-1 and I went 4-1 the other way.
Oh.
Yeah, but no, this was an absolute fun episode. So I'm glad we got to it, and I can't wait for the next one too. So Matt, I know you're gonna get your pull out soon.
I know we got Amityville Horror is going back on because that's still hanging around.
And we had got the prom night. That one's been getting some votes, so maybe third time's the charm for prom night.
And then we need to add one more.
Yeah,
It's gonna be July. It's gonna be July. I don't know if that means anything at all.
What are we looking at?
Well, I know what you did last summer doesn't have a remake.
Yeah,
because that would have been perfect for
that would have been
July.
a good one. Is he looking at? What are we looking at?
I never know what Brad's looking at.
I'm looking at my movies back there. I was going to see if there's anything that stood out.
I don't know. I don't know if you know something you're not telling me or what. How about The Town That Dreaded Sundown? But that's not really.
Ooh,
or is
that's a good one. I would consider it. See, that's a tough one.
Like a continuation, sort of.
Maybe we'll just have to ponder it for a little bit. And
I gotta think about that one.
Yeah, we'll ponder it, and Matt, of course, will post it on his Facebook, the poll, and then we'll let you all decide what the next episode is. So, guys, or Matt, do you have anything coming up on your channel?
Well, I don't know when this video is going to be coming out. I'm assuming maybe after.
I'm going to try Tuesdays, but just in case.
If it comes out Tuesday, then Wednesday night is the first episode of myself and James Grimm's new show, Behind the Mask, which obviously probably most people know about by now. And somehow, magically, the special guest for the first episode is the one and only great Lee McCoy, which is mind-blowing. Didn't see that happening, but we asked him. He said, hell yeah. And, of course, we're going to bring him on to talk. What else? 2018, Michael Myers. So, of course, we had to bring him on for that. So that's coming up. We're jacked about that. That's going to be our first episode. This week coming out will be my Friday the 13th Part 5 kill rankings, which was very hard because I don't like that movie and the kills are not very good. And then next would be July 7th. That is going to be another episode of Filthy with Facci. We are bringing on Jason Nike and ranking the kills from his favorite Friday the 13th film, Jason Lives.
Nice.
Sounds like a great time.
Dude, I'm looking for to Behind the Mask with you and James. And getting Lee McCoy to I can't even think of a better way to start off a first episode of a new series.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't top that.
No, you really can't. So you should that show should just be a one and done.
One and done. Good enough. Good enough.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm so looking forward to that show and just to see the chemistry you and James have.
Thank you.
Brad, do you want to even attempt of what freaking Good Reels got coming up? Because I know we're all over the place.
I mean, it's pretty simple right now. We're just doing Friday the 13th every Friday at noon. We're doing the premieres for that, and we're about halfway through with that. We're having a good time. Obviously, we've really enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. We're bringing Slash It Out back if we haven't already. Finally, so we should get the ball rolling on that, and we'll have another one coming up pretty soon as well. And obviously, really, that's pretty much it in the immediate future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we got some stuff planning behind the scenes too, so stay tuned for that. And just big things are coming for Good Reel, and big things coming for Matt Facci. So you do not want to miss out on all the excellent content that's coming into your future.
Right, you are.
Hell yeah, guys. So, guys, what did you all think about this episode of Replay or Reboot? Are you a fan on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or are you a fan of the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
I'm calling Steve.
He's going to be mad.
He's going to be so mad at me.
And if you help us find the Good Reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, Snapchat, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and TikTok down below. We'll put those links in the description. We're also going to be putting the links for Matt Facci stuff, which he's over there as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok too, right, Matt?
Yep.
Okay, we'll put those links down for you to find down below. Be sure to check them out so you can see next month's episode of Replay or Reboot.
Absolutely. And be
Yeah.
sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to both channels because Matt creates amazing content. And of course, ring both of our bells. Ding, ding, ding. So you know when our next videos are up and ready.
And we will see you guys soon.
See you guys.